And we're back for the final run through When the Darkness Comes. You again? Haven't had enough for real? No more saves from this point, it's all downhill. Why give me another chance at ending you? Well, I don't know. Maybe I like to live dangerously. Again and again and again. Already things are changing. You should stay home. Really? A little bit of an ambient evening. House is looking a little different than last we saw it. I'll be honest, I'm more of a nighttime guy than a morning guy. If I have to get up early, I definitely need a cup of coffee or two in the tank. And I'll admit, I'm a homebody. I don't really go out very much, with the exception of I probably go out to eat more than I rightfully should, but, well, first world problems and all that. Huh. That's a little different than last we saw. Do not go outside. Is this a nightmare? I'll be honest, I'm a lucid dreamer. I'm usually not only aware that I'm dreaming, but I'm in full control of the situation, so anything that starts setting itself up like it's a nightmare typically goes a really stupid direction. But why not? Why shouldn't I, huh? You're not the boss of me. Honestly, I'd love to walk around at night if I felt for an instant that that sort of behavior was safe. That's interesting. I have a phone in this house? Hi. Where is the phone? Not gonna lie, that's genuinely unsettling. I can hear it. Ah. What the? Too late. Oh boy. Like I said, in the world of color psychology, red is panic. Alarm. Yeah, you know, I was gonna go for a nice walk outside, but I don't think I'm up for it right now. Hi. Whoa. Take a seat. Stay in your seat. Stay in this house. I hate that they're, like, literally right there looking through that window. Isn't everything better here? You're safe here. You sure about that? Don't go outside. Just stay inside. Why risk meeting people? Why risk being hurt? Just stay here. Between those walls. Forever. Until death comes for you. Just stay here. With only me. And the safety of the darkness. What the? Not happy to see you again. Relaxing won't help. What the? Oh dear. I'm Ant-Man all of a sudden. You are stuck with me forever in your thoughts. Oh boy. Haunting you. And nothing can help you. Not even her. Not even yourself. For I shall linger here until the darkness comes. What the? Hey, I'm in my bed. Sleeping won't help either. I am your dreams. I am your nightmares. Your thoughts are mine to control. Your hopes are mine to destroy. Your light is mine to extinguish. Succumb to the shadows in your mind. Just surrender. Let yourself drift away. Just close your eyes. Listen to the whispers in your mind. And let me in. Whoa! Time, death, hope, fear. Whoa! Keep going. Well, given the other options, I think I'll take my chances. In all seriousness, there's a lot of people out there who would rather hear your story than attend your funeral. And it's something that I myself had to take to heart, because things would get so frustrating. And I constantly struggle with feeling like a failure. My channel's 2 years old, and then I'd compare myself to another channel or something. There's one that I really like that I follow very closely, and in 2 years he had thousands of subs and was already doing it full-time as a job. And suddenly I find myself between jobs and not growing all that fast myself. So I was beating myself up for not being as good as someone else, but he was covering a completely different topic than me. Our channels really weren't comparable. Losing my job was hard, and going through a lot of bad career choices made it worse. There is nothing quite as soul-crushing as a job that you go to every day hating it, you don't really like the people there, your coworkers make it worse. And the only thought I could think of was, you know, I don't think it would even hurt that much if I were to, you know, just do it. You know? I want to take a moment because things are about to get loud again. But I get the symbology, the symbolism, and the things that are being shown here. I understand them a little bit more intimately now than I did when I first reviewed this game. I feel like I have a much better understanding and appreciation for it. Because I've felt those things firsthand now. And I know how scary it can be when your own brain seems to be playing devil's advocate against you. The outpouring of people who've reached out to me because of these short videos has been absolutely awe-inspiring. And I don't want to act like I'm ungrateful. Like I was saying, like I want my channel to grow and do well, but I shouldn't ignore the fact that my hard work has already yielded progress. There's like actually kind of like a community forming, you know, and the Tomodachi Bros have kind of not really worried as much about being a separate entity from the Snek, and have kind of embraced being under the Snek umbrella, which is kind of the opposite of how I thought it was going to be. To give some context for what I mean, when we started, it seemed like the 4 or 5 of us that really constitute the core Tomodachi Bros members were looking at starting our own channels and doing our own topics and I started first, thinking the others were going to follow in some way, and suddenly I'm the only one with a channel, with Lone Ranger working on something soon, I hope, that he wants to get underway in doing a music channel. And I'll link to that once it exists. And along the way, instead of worrying about getting the Tomodachi Bros YouTube channel up, Cog and Dutaku told me they preferred if we just put everything on the Snek. And Cog said something very profound to me, and I'm not sure he even knew how much it meant when I heard him say it. But he told me, he's like, "You're the main character now, Snek." That was so strange to me. Explaining how that felt, it was a wonderful feeling. It was ecstatic. But it was so weird. I always kind of considered myself, I guess, a more secondary force, but to hear him say that was like, wow, the hipster Snek Productions featuring the Tomodachi Bros is the weirdest thing I thought I would ever say. I thought, like, Tomodachi Bros would become this big umbrella for everything that we were doing, and instead, my name became the umbrella. It's hard to put into context just how strange that is, and it's only been, like, 2.5 years. So explaining precisely the feeling between then and now is impossible, because on the one hand, while I do wish I have, a larger channel, a more robust opportunity, the fact that I'm here as far as I am is still more than I thought I'd ever have. I suffer from a lot of self-doubt, which I've carried with me pretty much since I was a teenager. Let's go ahead and do this, shall we? I've carried a lot of self-doubt with me ever since I was a young teenager. And it's gotten better. This is so beautiful. It's one of my favorite moments in the game. Death comes for everyone. That's true. Death waits for no one. Death is forever. But life isn't about death. I want everyone to kind of just take that in for a second. There's so much negativity to be consumed in this world. And a lot of it can come from within, like I was just saying. And I think in some ways, it will never 100% go away. But I think I'll get better at handling those feelings and coming to proper terms with them. Death is but the end of a tunnel. It's true. Death is but the last step on a bridge. The very last one. Death is but the passing lights in a train. Death's but the last note of a song. Death is but the last tick of a clock. Death is but one last breath. Death is one, a single instant. Life, however, life is the light. Life is the bridge. Life is the train. Life is the song. Life is the clock. Life is you. It's a simple statement, isn't it? It really is. And like I said, there's so much that can block out what's really been there the whole time, right? In those dark places, it's really easy to lose sight of things that matter. And when you get really frustrated, all those problems kind of just pile up all at once. You could be sitting under the brightest light in the world, but if you have a million blankets thrown over your head, you're not going to see it. It's like the future isn't some kind of big monster that's just going to grab you all of a sudden. Whatever the issues are, you can only tackle one of them at a time anyway. And a lot of the time, it's more the fear of the unknown than the known problem. Right? I mean, life is the bridge. Life is the song. You can only cross a bridge one step at a time. It's not like you can take the 5th step in when you're only on the 1st. You can't play the 6th note without playing the first 5. Life is everything. Everything. You know, I don't think I've ever stopped to turn around and look at the cathedral from this angle. I'm glad I did. Life is forever. In all seriousness, even when we're gone, the lives that you've touched remain. And the lives that they've touched. It's like throwing a rock in a pond, you know? The ripples are going to go out and they're going to touch everything else. And even the things they don't directly touch, they'll influence in some way. It'll hit an object, that object will put out ripples too, and those will go out. Just like these. Not ripples, but they're all going somewhere too. Life is meaning. This one I'm going to let you find your own thoughts on, but I think it's important to remember that philosophers have been thinking about the meaning of life forever, but I think everyone kind of just finds their own. And sometimes it can be really simple. Sometimes it's just, I want to do the best job I can. If you're walking down the street and you see a random aluminum can just sitting on the ground, you can pick it up, throw it away, and you've already made the world a slightly better place. And it cost you nothing, right? Meaning is life. Choose life. Two simple words, but I think there's a lot to it. I don't think that anyone actually wakes up and says, hey, I'm going to make this world like a worse place than I found it. I mean, maybe some deeply troubled individuals might, but the vast majority of people going about their day don't think like that. And the effort it would take to affirm people, tell your friends you're thinking about them, you know, call your family members, ask how they're doing, day after day. This relates back to what I was saying earlier. The future is not a monster, it's a series of events. And a lot of the time when life feels overwhelming, it's because you're looking at it all as one great big pile. All those lights and the stars up there are just individual lights. And on their own, they're still impressive, but the reason it's this intense is because there's so much there all at once together. It's that same idea. Chapter after chapter. It's so easy to just shut down. to just lock everything inside and just say, it's hopeless. There's nothing I can do. If you can resolve one of those issues, you can make a list. I'm talking like if you're having like issues, like let's say you're having trouble at work or in trouble with a person, you can make a list and try to start chiseling away at those things one at a time. Like, it's not all going to fall on you all at the same time. You have the option to take it one piece at a time and take breaks as you need them. Failure after failure. Man, that's hashtag relatable after this year. Because that's been an issue with me. Because, you know, the channel isn't bigger than it is. Because things aren't better than they are. Because I lost that one job I really liked. The words I found myself saying was, I'm a failure. But you can't just take a paintbrush and mark the entire canvas of your life as just, hey, it's a failure. It was a setback. It was tough. It was a tough setback, and it was deeply upsetting. But it's unfair to me for me to say to me that I'm a failure. I know that in the more rational part of my head, I do. And I don't want any of you guys doing that either, okay? It was one setback. I'm gonna get back up on my feet soon. And things will get better because I'm gonna tackle it one problem after the next in order, as best I can. I'm gonna pick up the pieces. Hey, that's a metaphor, right? If a glass vase falls and shatters, you can't just pick up every piece. You can't just scoop it all up at once. You'll hurt yourself. Because the pieces are sharp, right? You need to pick it up one piece at a time, because it's all you can do. And maybe you can put the pieces back together, and maybe you'll have to go out and get a new vase entirely. Maybe you'll just have to throw the old out. But you don't just give up on it, right? I like that. Bridge after bridge, maze after maze, call after call. I like that. I like that too. Even when the darkness comes. And it will. No one gets an easy ride through life. Even people who are born to rich families or have a time that may be easier than others, they're still going to have hard times. And even their perception on things, they can end up becoming depressed and scared and frustrated too. And just because someone else's circumstances aren't the worst possible case scenario, it isn't right to rule those out as invalid. We should take care of everyone, right? Especially when the darkness comes. I didn't mean to become a poet-philosopher for this leg of the game. It all kind of rushed to my head, and I just wanted to say it before I forgot it. You've reached the final end of this experience, Snek. I'm sorry you've had to go through all this. Oh, please. As I've said earlier. This wasn't meant to be played. I don't know about that. I think everyone should play this. You've played it several times. That I have. That I have. I truly hope this will have a positive impact on your life. It already has. It already has. Even if just a little. Life is harsh. Yeah, I know. But it is worth living. Keep choosing light over darkness. So far, so good. Keep following your light. And never turn back. Thanks for playing. Special thanks to Sir Hyan again for not just making the game, but taking all that time out to talk to me when I first reviewed this game. It was one of those moments that was really, truly, deeply validating for me, especially as, in some ways, I feel like I'm still kind of a beginner at this. Like I still have a long ways to go. Take some time for yourself. There's always a light somewhere. Resting often helps. Thanks for playing. This is the true final ending now. And as I said before, this was the last clock. Good job. As said before, I have 99% cleared this game, and I'm not going to 100% complete it. The only achievement I do not have in this game is the achievement you get for actually following through on the bad ending and choosing the noose when given the options. And I don't think I ever will. Because what this game has given to me, I don't think I can ever properly repay in kind. And in a year like 2021, it's even harder to properly articulate just what an opportunity it's been to play through this game and to celebrate it. It's free on Steam. You guys can play it for yourselves and see what some of the other options are and what kind of little comments the game will make for your having done so. And just the opportunity to vent my spleen has already made a world of difference in a very short time. And the huge outpouring, the huge response I got, it really just means the world to me. I don't think I can put into words just how touched I am and how far out of their way a lot of people went specifically on my account. I've dragged this out quite sufficiently because this third playthrough was actually quite brief. I dare say the most intense moment in the game, the moment being locked inside the house by your own anxieties, is something that I haven't really experienced in that same way, specifically. I'm an introvert. I recharge my batteries by not talking to people. That sounds a bit worse than I meant for it to. But even if a particular chapter or segment doesn't make a whole lot of sense or doesn't really resonate with you, I will say that the better part of the experience definitely did for me. The social anxiety aspect in particular, and the feelings of failure and frustration. That part really hit home with me. So thank you, Sir Hyan, again. And I'm going to go ahead and just sign out. You guys can expect more Halloween-themed goodness for the rest of the month, and I hope you enjoy those. And for those who are concerned, I'm okay. I really am. Thank you. 1,000 times thank you. You've all been very, very gracious and very, very kind. It can feel overwhelming because a lot of the time the emotional knee-jerk reaction I have is that I don't deserve it. But the fact that you guys feel like I do means a lot. I want to try to keep being a worthy host and entertaining you guys and showing you guys these things you may not have seen otherwise. And I'll try to cut down on the random philosophizing throughout my videos. I don't know, unless you really enjoyed it. Not sure if I can find another game quite like this to do another little art house discussion. Alright, that's enough out of me. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hipster Snek out.